Greg, I can't believe it. It's been almost 15 years, and I can still remember the first day that you handed me a stack of scripts. I had come to you and I said, Greg, I don't know how to do an open house. I've never done an open house like this. And somebody wants me to stand at the open house and they're expecting 100 people there and I'm supposed to help them. And you said, here. And you gave me a stack of paper. And you're not going to believe this, but my style is I went through and I actually read those scripts.
Really?
I read every single page. I kind of half memorized some of them. I'm like, ooh, this one's good. And then I got to the open house and I crumbled. And Greg, I think this is a problem that a lot of agents have. You gave me a script. Hi, my name is Michael Fielden. And then it said, here's what your client says. And my client never said that. My brain went, and it stopped, right? Because I was expecting it to go like the script. And I almost wanted to like whip it out and say, guys, here's the script. You're not doing your part. Your client. I'm realtor.
You're supposed to say yes or no at this point, not give me some convoluted answer. This is not what I rehearsed in the classroom.
Exactly. And you didn't tell me that I wasn't going to go from, hi, I'm Michael Fielden to, hey, thanks for the listing or thanks for buying the house. I thought it was going to be done in one page.
No,
it wasn't.
No. And that's where scripting really comes in quite a bit, Michael. I mean, you're literally the epitome of the average agent. And when I say average agent, I don't mean that in a disparaging way. It just means, you know what, and like everything in life, when you're learning a new, I say language, which is, real estate sales techniques, scripting, so on and so forth, it's a different way of speaking and thinking, anticipating the next move, the next comment. So everything plays in together. And so you being stuck and terrified is extraordinarily normal. Now, let me ask you a question in return. What would have been best for you? What would I have done? What could I have done differently? What could other trainers do differently than just give you a stack and be like, go with God, my child. I trust that you'll make the right choices in life.
So you don't realize that you are now feeding me a line for what's coming next. And yes, I had a story for you.
Oh,
I have a feature that is coming to Living the Business. Okay.
Tell me.
So we are creating a coaching platform, a learning platform, a life experience platform. And one of the things that I have a problem with all of coaching and all of these learning experiences and all of these is they are one-way communication. Greg, I am building the next best thing, and we are going to implement this into Living the Business because we have tools.
Yes, we do.
Starting very soon, I am still programming this in. You will be able to go into Living the Business and have a conversation with an AI agent simulating an actual conversation.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. And that sounds like it's going to be awesome because it's the hardest thing, Michael, is to find a role play partner, someone that can actually give you feedback because everyone is. And when I say this, I mean this with love. Everyone's just as bad as you are. So it's the blind leading the blind on what to say, how to do it, tonality, rebuttals, retorts, what's real world circumstances look like. So when you get an AI or someone out there that can do a better job, then your buddy Steve in the cubicle next to you, anything's better. I mean, I have a system I use called RedX right now. It's a triple line dialer. And they have real people that you can call into, and they're building some AI stuff out. But they were the first ones ever to have live role play on demand for their clients. So for us to be able to deliver the same quality, I'm loving where this is going. It's going to answer a lot of people's questions and help people just get over that hump of fear and just say, you know what? They're humans. They want to buy something. I want to sell something. This is a great symbiotic relationship. How can I make a friend?
Well, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, Greg, is I want this to be painful for people like me that want to learn. And I don't want it to hurt in the bad way. I want it to hurt like when you scratch, and it all of a sudden it feels better. And we're going to integrate some things that other people are doing, but we're going to integrate this in. You'll be able to use it as part of your subscription, but we're going to record you. Okay. Because I think every one of you should see yourself, and it's not to share you with the world. It's to share you with you so that you can see what you look like, how you sound, We're going to transcribe that, and those are going to be saved and attached to your account so that you have reference and you can see your learning progress. Okay, and this is valuable because I think part of it is a lot of us, and I've tried to do role play with people and I do a terrible job at it. I end up.
We should try one live on air.
No, because it always happens the same way for me. And I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I get lost and I go on a tangent. And before I know it, we're talking about, snowmobiling in the mountains or something like that. And I get that building rapport is good, but I also think that staying on context is good and getting the point across. This isn't about, do you know how to talk to people? This is about, do you know how to convert from hello to, hey, do you want to set an appointment where I can come over and see your house and give you a better idea of what the price on that home might be in the open market today?
So let's run the script. Let's stop dancing around the fire. Let's get to work. So throw something at me. You may be as mean as you want to. Give me any impossible scenario within reason.
Okay.
And let's do this.
We're at an open house. I'm walking through the door.
So I'm the agent holding the open house.
You're the agent holding the open house.
Okay. Oh, so you're walking. So you just walked into my open house.
I just walked in. I'm like, fuck, he's not listening.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna set this up, guys. So I'm gonna see Michael coming because what I'm generally do is I'm sitting near the front of the house if no one's there, and I'm looking out to see when people arrive, and I try to treat them like ladies and gentlemen that they are when they're going to the Ritz-Carlton. So what I try to do is I make sure I get up, I get my flyer, get my lender flyer. I time it, I open the door for them, I graciously ask them to come on in. As soon as I get them into the entryway, depends on the weather, either shut the door or keep it open, depends. And I hand them the flyers and I look them directly in the eyes and I say, hi, my name's Greg. Welcome to the open house. How did you find us today? Was it your agent, the internet, or the signs? And then I shut up. What that did, I just qualified them in 3 different ways. One, I qualified them, is the internet being more powerful or the signs being more powerful? Are they working together? And the third most powerful one and the most important one, did your agent send you? Therefore, I don't step on another agent's toes or I know who not to spend a lot of time falling around, not harassing, but you know what I mean, falling around the open house trying to build rapport with when they already have an agent. I don't want to step on those toes. I'm very careful about that one. So then I get your name and I get your wife's name, and you know what I say, guys? And then what I do is I'll back myself into a certain corner or a certain walkway, and I will, without saying anything, I will force them another direction. Because I'll say, you guys go look around. Oh, by the way, before you guys leave, I need to get your opinion. And then I pick an aspect of the home. So it's the master bathroom, the backyard, the pool, the sauna, the garage, the storage. Pick whatever the shiny object in the house is. Say, I want to get your opinion about that before you leave. Okay, not a problem. So then I let them kind of, since I'm standing there and I'm not moving from my position, I force them in another direction. So they start looking and talking. Well, what I've done is I've created a loop. So they're going around this way. I'm coming around casually this way, generally meeting somewhere near the kitchen. And then I'll just say, oh, how long have you guys been looking? What type of homes are you looking for? Are your kids going to be attending the schools? Have you bought here before? Do you have a home to sell? Why did you guys decide to buy? Blah, blah, blah. Pick a question, start a relationship, build rapport. I do not push on them at all. I try to make it curious. I try to make it curious for myself of what kind of questions I'm going to ask them that I'm curious about. If you notice a piece of clothing or a vehicle that they're driving and you actually genuinely like it, make a genuine comment. Hey, bro, I'm digging the new Range Rover out there, man. What year is that thing? Oh, that's a 2026. It looks like a 2026. What's your favorite aspect? Build rapport, compliment. Ladies, handbags, shoes, dresses, whatever. You pick your flavor, hairstyle. And just say, nope, not yet. And then I want you to do this. I want you to try to fire them as clients. Try to disqualify them as clients. And you're going to say, Greg, what are you talking about? It's this. A lot of people that come through are just looky-loos. Don't waste your time on people that are you're not going to be able to benefit their lives, and they're not going to be able to benefit your life in regards to a monetary exchange of effort and cash and then end result. Focus on the people that want and need your assistance. That is how you maximize an open house. You relieve a lot of stress and worry about it. And if you walk out with 0 names, 1 name, 100 names, you know that you're talking to the right people. Michael, front of the class, what can I help you with?
This is exactly what you told me 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago.
And I'm still right.
No.
Oh,
you didn't prepare me. The first guy that came through, I tried this. I was right there. I had my flyer. I had my little tie on. Didn't want to wear a tie. Greg told me you should wear a tie. Don't wear a jacket. Roll your sleeves up. And the dude says to me, you're a little bit close, aren't you?
Well, you have to observe personal space. You can't be like they're trying to make out with a human.
I was like 6 feet away from the guy, and I just said hi, and he's like, I don't want to be bugged. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm going through the pages. This isn't in my script. It's not in my script. It's not in my script.
Want me to give you a response to that?
No, I want to give you more of the story, and then we can talk about it. So I didn't know what to do. So I backed off because I was like a little bit intimidated. He was an older gentleman, and I was 15 years younger than I am now. And so he started walking around, and I'm like, peace. I just kind of left him there, and I'm like, okay. And then at one point he walked by me, and I said, hey, I'm not high pressure. If there's anything you need, any questions that you have while you're walking around, just let me know. And he did actually open up a little bit. He was a neighbor considering the sale of a home, and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I just thought there was going to be buyers.
No, so you're being interviewed for selling positions just as much as you are for buying opportunities. I mean,
yeah,
the coming back to look at you.
But this is part of what we teach in Living the Business is you've got to be ready for both sides all the time. An open house is not about selling a house.
No.
It's about building relationships.
It is, and that's the easiest part about it. And that's why I keep going back to the point of trying to fire them as potential clients. Because if you guys don't get along, why are you trying to force a relationship? It's like an arranged marriage. It's a horrible, horrible outcome. Nobody's happy throughout the entire process. When you get in there and the guy goes, hey, I don't want to be bugged, you'd be like, great. You and I must have been born from the same cloth. I don't want to bother people. If you're done being annoyed with me, come back and ask a question. It puts it back in their court. You're not being rude. You're agreeing with them. And once you say once they see that you're like, yeah, dude, I'm with you, bro. I don't want to bother you either. Tell me if you got a question. End of story. Have a blessed day. Yeah. Let them go. So it's not all clients are good clients. Nobody understands that.
Yeah, it was a challenge. And I think, Greg, what I really learned from that experience and a few subsequent open house transactions, and I'm not an open house guy. I don't enjoy the time there. It's not my sweet spot. What I really learned is that the scripts that you gave me aren't intended to be used verbatim.
No, they're always a skeleton. I mean, it's just you're talking basic points, and then you extrapolate off of those. I use the analogy all the time. The script is like a backbone, right? You have different vertebrae. That's different chunks of the conversation. As you move your way down or up, depends on whatever way you want to think about it, up the vertebrae, you're going to run into the ribs. The ribs are offshoots of the vertebrae for this analogy. And basically the rib is a side subject. So, hey, how'd you find us? Open house signs, the internet, or your agent? Oh, the website. Oh, which one? Zillow. Oh, how long you been looking? About 4 months. Where are you guys coming from? Have you ever thought about what's making you guys want to buy here? What's your timeline? Have you talked to a lender? Are you working with an agent? You build the questions in off of what they say. And it's like part of like what we do with Living the Business, Michael, is that we have micro learning, and you can do micro building of friendships and relationships as well. It doesn't have to be a giant, elephant size of a bite. It could be just literally, hey, how you doing, man? Here's a flyer. Take a look around. I'm right here. Give me a holler. That's as simple as they can start. It's not, do you have any questions? Like, what's the biggest question you have about the house? Because it doesn't allow them to say, oh, nothing. It makes them answer. Hey, what's the biggest flaw you see in the house? What's the best thing about the house that you've noticed? Oh, and that's where the conversation starts.
Yeah.
Then it's just like going, it's like being at a cocktail party or a pool party or a dinner party or anything else. You're sitting next to somebody, standing next to somebody you don't know. What do? You spark up a conversation, trying to be cordial. Same difference. You're trying to make a friend. See if you can help somebody. If you go in there with commission breath and you're like, client, 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 you're going to smell the high heaven. No one's going to one come near you. You're not going to pick up clients because people go, man, that guy or gal really needs a paycheck. No.
Yeah.
Try to be the hot chick at the bar. Everyone's coming up talking to you. You're very selective of who you're going to spend your time with, because at the end of the day, man, time is money, and people love to waste real estate agents' time because they think that you're just some door opening monkey that just will open up every lockbox, waste your time, waste your energy. Then their cousin's going to write the contract because you didn't ask the right questions and you didn't, solidify the relationship and the trust and the bond. That's where it all starts. Be willing to walk away from any prospective buyer. I don't care if you're 2 days into the business and everything you've heard is counter to what I just said. I dare you to try my method. Oh, and by the way, if you take me up, my cell phone number is 925-915-1978. It rings right here. Call me and tell me if it didn't work, and I will guarantee you I can fix it for you, but I know it will. So, Michael, if you were to go back, what would be the one thing that you would have wished that I had done that would have made it crystal clear for you how to handle the non-scripted aspect of the conversation? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, what Michael isn't telling you is that I did tell him about the script called Ford, Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Dreams, the world's greatest script that allows you to ask questions and they give you responses. And that is a free-flowing script pattern. So, Michael, how could I have been better for you?
You probably could have told me that it wasn't going to be like it is on paper. That it's not. And I know that for a lot of people is like a no-brainer. For people that are nervous going into it and it's their first step and they don't really connect with people well, I learned very quickly that what was on that paper, none of it was the real life experience. Those were just the tools to get me to step B, right? From step A. So and that's not me snoring, by the way. I don't know if you can hear. That's my dog. It's your
dog. He has a wonderful little dog that's older, and he comes in and snuggles and hangs out with Michael during recordings. Coolest little dude.
Yeah, I want to tell you, he has learned how to turn on the electric blanket that he sleeps on. And I think he actually knows the difference between low and high, because if it gets too high, he gets off and he'll push the button again. But
silly dog. See, he knows his scripting. He knows how to communicate with the heater blanket.
Yep.
I want to show you something really quickly. Go ahead. Sorry, you want to finish?
Go ahead. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. Then I want to dive into something else.
30 more seconds?
Yep.
Please. So here, I created something with a good friend of mine, and this is something we're going to put into play here, guys. And this is something that I honestly love. This is a great site. It's called Real Estate Edge, and it works off of, you can get real estate market information. So I picked San Francisco, National Real Estate News. We can choose from all of these, right? You can choose what your audiences are. So you can see the different audiences pop up there, and then you can choose kind of how you want to be heard. I like bold and direct, if you haven't noticed. And so then it generates information. So it pulled up today for me all kinds of stuff about the mortgage rates. It gave me a snapshot on the price up in the sales, or prices are up, sales are down, right? Quick little hot snippets you can talk about. You can repost those things. Client email or text if you want to send something out to folks. And then these are the talking points, aka scripts. You can use these and talk to other folks about the rates and what's going on, the pricing changes and the climates. You can also take the entire article here. If you really don't know what to say, don't know what scripts to follow, just take the whole damn article and post it somewhere. The reason why I show this to you is that this is going to take away a lot of the scripting issues that a lot of folks have and allow folks, let's bring this back to me. There I am. And Michael, how come we can't get ourselves back up there?
Because you're hitting the wrong button.
There I am. There we are.
Not that one. What happened to the
technically challenged today, folks? But here's the thing. Your scripting is the way you want it. I want you to understand scripts are you. It doesn't have to be word perfect. I'd actually prefer it not to be word perfect. That makes you sound and feel real. Just be a person. Be the person that you are to your best friend. I always ask people in coaching situations, what's your best friend's name? It's Michael, Steve, Rebecca, Felicia, whatever. I said, how do you talk to them? He said, I pretend I'm your best friend. What are you going to say to me? And they'll just revert right back to best friend. That's how you're supposed to react and interact. Look, you can be professional, but still be trustworthy and likable. I mean, your best friend is your best friend for a reason, not because you sold them on it. Keep the same thing in mindset. Michael, over to you, brother. I know we're running out of time.
Okay, we're running out of time here, Greg. And I know that one of the things we talk about all the time is consistency and professionalism and giving back and all of those things. So I'm going to give you a number, and I want you to try to guess what that number is from. And this is important and it's relative. 332,411,218.
My bank account?
No.
Oh,
good
damn.
try though.
Oh.
Okay.
Seriously, I don't know.
What if I gave you the number 60?
Younger than my father.
Okay. The number 1.
Me.
Okay. Greg, we don't talk about time sensitive things very often. And this is something that's true to my heart. Country lost Dolly Parton yesterday, 80 years old. And I want to talk about one of her dreams and continuing that dream. And I implore everybody, and I know you and I are both on the same page here, to support your community, support the country, support the world. 31 years ago, Dolly Parton started the Imagination Library. Okay. Was in her home state of Tennessee. And what she decided right then is that every child was going to get one book a month for the first 5 years of their life. The hospitals were registering these kids, and the Imagination Library would send them books. Dolly Parton supported this for 31 years. And I think it's now time for the rest of us to carry that torch. And I hope each one of you will look at the imaginationlibrary.com and take a look at what she's done. And I just want to say I'm thankful for that, because I think that part of what this gives us, and Greg, you and I come from a different world than Tennessee, with more benefits in our life, but the value of being able to read and explore and have that knowledge is what allows you and I to be here today. And I can't say enough how important that is to me and how thankful I am for organizations like this. This is now becoming one of my charities of choice. Wanted to add that in as we go, and then I will let you take us home.
What am I supposed to do? Follow that? Jesus. All right, guys, there it is. Go start a reading library foundation like Dolly did. Make an impact in your local community. Be a force of good. And remember, just have a conversation. Be a human and just love on the person that's in front of you. Bring value, bring honesty, bring authentic you, and you will find your tribe. All right, guys, we love you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Thanks, Greg.